Alright, g'day again guys. In this one, I'm going to show you how to create a title in Adobe After Effects and how we can work from Premiere Pro to After Effects and then back again. So I've got my sequence set up in Premiere Pro here. I'm going to drop the volume because we're not going to need it. So what I can do is I can open After Effects straight from Premiere Pro with this really neat feature, and it will set up the correct resolution or size of my Premiere Pro project to match the After Effects composition. So if I go to File, and if I go to Adobe Dynamic Link, you just click on New After Effects Composition, and the width and height settings will be the same as your Premiere Pro sequence, which is really neat. So if you click OK, depending on how much RAM you've got on your computer, it might take a little bit of time. When you're doing this, because we've got Premiere Pro and After Effects open at the same time, I'd just recommend that you shut as many other programs down as you can, or all programs, so that it runs smoother. So what you can do is it'll ask you to save it. All right, now it's important to save this in the same folder that all your other video files and your project, your Premiere Pro project, is saved into. So mine's called example. I've been working on, and I can just title it. I'll just call it I'll just call it title. I'm just going to create an simple animated title in After Effects. Okay, now we'll need to go into After Effects, and you'll notice it's set up our composition for us, and it's already given it a name. So what I'm going to do is just go into Layer. No, we can go into Layer. We can get a new text layer. All right, and that's going to drop a text layer in there for us. So it'll automatically select my text tool, and I'm just going to call it this example. All right, now I want this directly in the middle of my composition, so I'm going to hide the character tab for the moment. I'm going to go to Align, and I'm going to click this button here, Horizontal Center, and this one here, Vertical Center, so it's directly in the middle. All right, can go back to character, and you can play around with the size of your font and everything like that, the colors and everything. I'm just going to leave it. I might just do it. Well, I'll just keep it. I'll just do it red for the moment because red stands out. Again, you can muck around with these settings in here. I'm not going to change the font style and all that. You can give it a stroke and a fill, all those kinds of things you can do with text. I'll make it a little bit bigger for this example, and I'll go back to Align and just center it again. There we go. Now, to animate this, what I can do is, I'm just going to go back to my Move tool, go into Effects and Presets up here, and we've got animation presets. And this is a really basic way that you can animate some text. And go to text, and you'll notice if I scroll down, there are a lot of different bins or folders here. 3D text, animate in, animate out, blurs, etc. If I click in there, there's a whole heap of different presets. Now if I drag and drop one of these preset effects onto, I'll try bullet train, onto the text itself, or I could drag it onto the layer, it doesn't matter. That will add the effect to it. And then if you click the little triangle here and go into text, you can see I've got bullet train animator on there. Okay, and let's just press play by pressing the space bar. It's probably the quickest. And there's the animation effect taking place. Now what you can do is if you don't like that, you can undo it, and I might try something else like curves and spines. Let's see what's in a bloom flower. I'll just drag and drop that on top there, hit play, and then you got this kind of cool animation effect going on there. I'll undo that. I might just go back to the blue one because I quite like that, bullet train, whatever it was, drag it on there. All right, now in your timeline here, you'll notice that when I put that in, I've got 2 keyframes there. So if I press play again, all right, it happens quite quickly. What if I want that to happen a bit slower, that bullet train effect? If you go into the bullet train part there and go into and open up your range selector, all right, now I can click and I can move the keyframes. If I move this keyframe over this far, for example, and I press play, notice the effect is going a lot slower, so that's pretty cool. Now, say for example, I don't want it to start straight away, I want blank screen for a little bit. Okay, I could move this one in, press play, and now the animation starts. Alright, I could also drag a marquee and I could drag these around together, position them wherever I want. So basically, the closer these two keyframes are together, the quicker the effect will happen. Alright, the more further apart, the slower the effect will happen. Alright, now the neat thing is, when I go back to Premiere Pro, because I've used the Adobe Dynamic Link, you'll notice I've got my linked composition in there, and there it is there. So if I can click and hold and drag this in, I'm going to put it right up there so it's not going to mess. Actually, give me 1 second, I just need to move this over. Actually, what I might do is I might go back to After Effects and show, at the moment my composition is set to 30 seconds, and that's way too long for this. So it plays, and then I've got another 30 seconds to wait. Alright, it stops at 10 seconds. So what I might do is I might trim the composition down to 10 seconds. So if I go into composition settings, and if I just change the duration from 30 to 10, click OK. Alright, that's going to shorten my composition so that when I do drag it now into Premiere Pro, it's not going to be nowhere, that clip isn't going to be nowhere near as long. Alright, back to Premiere Pro, and let's move these across a bit. I'll move this back, and I might just put it just over here for now, and let's press play. And there it is. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now, the other thing is, say I don't like it and I want to change it, I can just go back to After Effects. Say I might just go into the bullet train animator, delete that effect because I don't want it, and then I might choose something else like, I don't know, random fly off, drop that in. Let's check out what that looks like. It's not doing anything at the moment because my keyframes are way down here. There it goes. I might move the keyframes. Oh, actually, yeah, I might move the keyframes way closer when I can get to them. There they are, just so that it happens a bit quicker. Alright, so I've changed the effect. I'm not sure if I have to save it or not. We'll just check. If I go back to Premiere Pro, press play, and there it is there. So it automatically updates the effect when I go into Premiere Pro. It's important to save your work, and yeah, that's done. Hope you enjoyed that. So have a play around with adding an animated introduction to your videos. Thank you.